We are back with another episode of Indy's Morning Show podcast, and we are at episode 8. Is that about right?
If you're counting, I'm not counting.
Oh.
Maybe I should count.
I think, yeah, I'm going to go with 8.
All right, sounds
Let's
good.
go with 8.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
We are doing this not only as a podcast, we're also streaming this on all of our social platforms as we do every Friday.
Mhm.
That includes Facebook, that includes Twitter, Instagram Live, Twitch, YouTube.
I can't think of a platform that it's not on.
MySpace.
True.
It's not on
Oh, yeah.
MySpace.
Not on MySpace. Yeah,
No.
we tried it.
No
Yeah.
one's on MySpace.
Yeah, even our only friend Tom wouldn't join, so we decided no, we're good. Anyways, thanks for joining us, and I'm getting ready next week. So the podcast next week will probably be a little bit different. I haven't
Mhm.
decided yet if I'm gonna try to make myself available remotely,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
am getting ready for my trip to Nashville, Tennessee.
He's got a business trip,
Yes.
and we'll put the air quotes up. A business trip
Business.
to Nashville for part of next week.
Yeah.
We love the city of Nashville. That's kind of
It's
our
great.
second home.
Yeah, I am a huge fan. I love all of the music. I mean, really, it's just such a great place to go and visit. So if you've not visited there, please make it a point to go and just take a weekend if
Yeah.
you can. So, but again, as going through and getting ready for this trip, it reminded me of a story that happened at a similar trip a few years back. And
Oh, is this one of those what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas stories?
It's
Not
not a
really.
good story. It's
No.
not a good story.
Okay.
it's almost in a way
Should
kind
you
of
be sharing this story?
I think I can now, and there's more to that, but it's kind of a PTSD type of situation.
Oh, I can
Oh,
in
imagine.
a way.
Oh, wow.
So, long story short, it was at a party at an artist's house, and at the end of the night, which was actually technically in the morning, it was the last shuttle bringing people back to the hotel.
Sure.
And at that time, it was around 4 a.m. Central Time, which I had a morning show that I was doing at the time that was started at 6 a.m.
Oh, well.
Eastern Time, right?
Just pull an all-nighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had 1 hour
We've done that.
to figure out what I was going to do, right? So me
Sure.
and my best friend Brad, we decided let's go to the White Castle. And so we'll grab a bite
You can
to
always
eat.
find time to eat.
Yeah. So get some food and then we'll go do the show and then go to sleep afterwards, right? After we do the show and get a little nap in. So on our way from the hotel to the White Castle, we get right on top of the bridge.
And you're walking.
And we're walking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, 4 a.m. All of a sudden we see a car that's coming by, passes us, and all of a sudden whips a U-turn. It comes right back at us and then flashes its lights, sirens, cherries and berries, all that good
What'd you
stuff.
do?
And that's what I was wondering. What did we do? So as we're standing there, I've got my hands up. My buddy Brad's got his hands up.
Oh,
And
gosh.
there are 3 more police cars that come up behind this one.
Oh, wow.
Guns drawn,
Oh,
doors
my.
open, blocking with the door, guns drawn at us.
I mean,
and-
did you pee yourself at that point? I would have.
It was real close.
Oh,
it was
my
real
goodness.
close. And so they come out and they escort Brad to the side. And they have him, and they're not too concerned about him. All eyes are
So
on me.
obviously you're the bad guy.
I know, yeah. So I'm like, what did I do? And they're like, stand still, hands up. Do you have any weapons on you? I'm
Oh my
like, no, I don't have any weapons on me. I'm just, well, what are you doing out at 4 a.m. walking around? Well, I just came from an artist, house. We were doing a CRS country radio seminars. Like, I'm fine. Okay, we need to pat you down. So they did a pat down.
Wear your sleeves.
That's right. Yeah. Why do you wear sleeves, sir? Can't hold these back. No, just kidding. Anyway,
Oh, my
it was
God.
cheesy. It was so
I
bad.
believe
I
it.
know.
No, I'm just kidding.
I regret that.
I regret
that immediately. As soon as it happened, like, I was done. But
Oh, my goodness.
so they patted me down. They're like, okay, you're good to go. So sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah,
So
we-
they obviously mistaken identity.
Yeah, absolutely. So they said we had a report downtown of somebody wandering around, waving around a firearm.
Oh, well, that's why they pulled up so
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah. And so there was kind of an urgent thing. And they're like, it wasn't you, but we had the description of somebody wearing flannel. Cool.
Which is all of Nashville.
Everybody in Nashville. Awesome. But again, 4 a.m. I get it. I do.
Yeah.
But still, that's not something you can just easily be like, let's go get some sliders.
Yeah.
So did you go on to White Castle?
Oh, of course we did. We were
Oh.
so
so
hungry.
nothing's going to stop you there.
But so we get there and we just started laughing about it. We're like, what a crazy way to end, because the night was already crazy, right? We 2 guys that had no business being at this artist's house
Mhm.
or being on the list to get in the house, and somehow we ended that and saw some great things. And then we're like, this is wild. This is going to be really good for the show this morning, right? And then we came to the realization shortly thereafter that we still have to walk back, and they still haven't caught this guy in flannel waving a gun
Waving a
around.
firearm.
No.
It's like, shoot, man.
Oh.
But
my goodness.
we made it
I wouldn't have
through.
said shoot. By the
I
way.
mean,
Yeah,
gosh
yeah.
darn it. Yeah, shucks.
just
Dang it.
saying, yeah.
Real quick, we got Jen that's watching on Instagram
Hey,
Live.
Jen.
Jen, hi. Happy
Hi, Jen.
Friday to you as well. And again, if you have a story, if you have a situation like this, you're more than welcome to comment below. We'll put your comment on screen. You can also call us 255-9367. That's 317-255-9367. You can join the podcast live. And Deb, have you had a situation like this?
So not walking around downtown city, but Gray used to work for his family owned a floor covering business, and he needed to check on a house, and it was going to be after hours. And he thought, well, I don't have time to do it now. So this is years ago. I'll just do it after dinner. So we went to dinner. We went into this beautiful neighborhood. This is in West Carmel. I remember we pulled in, and I was thinking, I'll just wait in the car. But you know me and safety.
Mhm.
It was late at night. This is probably close to 11 o'clock at night. And at first he said, do you want to come in? I said, no, I'm going to stay here. And then I thought, I don't feel even though it was a nice neighborhood, I just don't want to stay out in the car. So I said, let's go in together. And he was going to show me what he was checking on. And so we did the whole thing. But I noticed in an upstairs bedroom, I looked out the window and I saw an officer pull up out, looking out the upstairs bedroom, pulled up along the curb. So I'm sure Neighborhood Watch was doing what they're supposed to do.
You got the cops called on you.
And we got the cops called on us.
Oh,
and Greg had the
no.
code to get in, the whole deal. The owner knew we were going to be there, but two cops were downstairs and they didn't say anything. They waited. They came in quietly and they waited for us to come down the stairs. I forgot to mention I'm 8 months pregnant at the time.
Or was.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I
That
walked
puts you
down
in
the
labor.
stairs and sure enough, guns drawn, pointed right at us. I'm looking down the gun and he said, freeze, hands in the air. And we were like, we're allowed to be here. We're supposed to be here.
Yeah.
We explained the whole situation, but it took a good 5 minutes
And
or
again,
so.
they were doing their job.
And they were doing their job.
And that's
Neighbors were
exactly
doing,
it.
I would probably do the same thing in my neighborhood. But
Wow.
at any rate, we learned our lesson, which was you don't stop by at 11 o'clock at night, to take care of something. Because that was, talk about PTSD. I didn't get over that for the weekend. I was so stressed out about the whole thing.
And again, same situation with me too. And you put myself in the officer's perspective.
Yeah.
You hear somebody's got a firearm. Of course, you got to protect
Well,
yourself,
yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
like,
And new homes that
totally.
are not quite, that haven't been sold and the owner isn't living in them, people steal all the time.
yeah.
Appliances or cabinets, shelves, things like that. And so they were just doing what they were supposed to be doing. But I was so upset with myself for even thinking, you didn't even think about that.
Right.
We just thought we have the code, no big deal. We'll take care of what we need to take care of.
I just can imagine the officers being like, because obviously, theft in new construction,
Sure.
such a big thing, copper, all that stuff
Yeah.
too. Just like looking at you, be like, what are you smuggling under your jacket there? I'm not pregnant. I'm like, no, what are you smuggling?
I will
A
say
human
this,
being.
in defense of the officer, he's very apologetic afterwards and was
totally.
making sure I was okay and
Yeah.
escorted me to the vehicle and all of that. But that at first 5 minutes, a little scary.
Boy, that'd be a tough job to be a police officer
It would
when you
be.
think about it.
Yeah,
Man, that'd be scary.
definitely appreciate anybody in the emergency
Man, no
services
kidding.
and everything
Yeah.
that they do. Because
Well, I live a pretty vanilla life because none of that's ever happened to me.
That's
Not
because
yet.
you wear so many shirts.
It,
By the way.
it could be.
But if you wear flannel in Nashville,
You
watch
could
out.
get pulled over.
Mr. Uptight over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you've got a story about this as well, obviously we'd love for you to be able to share that as we are streaming on Facebook, on Twitch, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram. We are everywhere. But,
Kind of a mistaken identity thing, I guess
Yeah.
you could say.
I hope that never ever happens
Right.
again. But to be able to have that story, like it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to be able to say, yeah, this is what happened.
But
and-
let's be honest. Did you, for that next, 30 minutes, my adrenaline would have been.
oh yeah, through the roof.
He didn't need
Yeah.
a nap.
Yeah.
He was wide awake.
It was
at
a
that
mix
point.
between sliders, booze, and adrenaline. That's what it was. So
Ugh.
we made it through. That's all right.
Yeah.
So, if you've got a story, feel free to comment and share below. And otherwise, we'll be back. Some of us will be back next week. I may not be.
No,
No,
we're
you
going to
will
be
be.
Monday. You're going to be back Monday and Tuesday.
Well, yeah, no, I mean for the podcast.
Oh, for the podcast.
Oh, for the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you saying? You might join us remotely or something?
I might try to.
I
What if we don't
mean,
See if I
answer?
can.
Oh,
Kevin.
yeah. I don't know why
Well,
we're
he might
having
be wanted by
technical
the law by
difficulties.
then.
Yeah,
Matt.
that's true.
We might get that call of him in Nashville. I need some
Yeah.
bail money. We're like, I don't know who that guy is.
Yeah, officer, I need my one call, but instead of a call, I need to do a podcast,
podcast.
please.
I
Yeah.
don't think they're going to grant
So
that.
what restaurant will you hit? First thing you get to Nashville. What
To
restaurant?
Nashville, I don't know if I'm going to have time to even stop at because I've got a meeting like straight away when I get there.
Oh,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
Pancake
yeah.
Pantry with Keith Urban?
I don't know. Yeah,
What goes
that'd be
there?
amazing.
What's that Italian restaurant, Deb? We've gone to numerous times. I put her on the spot.
It's on
Is
Broadway.
that Broadway? Okay.
Yeah.
But not where all the clubs are, but it is so good, isn't
Yeah.
it? And we don't even
Yes.
have to make
Is
reservations.
it further up?
You
Yeah,
can walk
further
in
up
and get a
Broadway. Yeah.
reservation. Not
Yeah.
that we're special. Anybody could do that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
And
be
of course,
complete-
there's Roberts. You got to go to Roberts
up
and
over the
get
bridge.
the
Up over the bridge.
get the fried bologna sandwich.
I do like
Mhm.
that. That'd be delicious.
Mhm.
My thing is I'm usually so busy. Like at these, I don't even get to eat. Like honestly, like I
Hey,
usually
management's not
breakfast and
listening.
that's it.
Management's not.
So you're going to come back and
That's
be all
true.
emaciated? Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Okay,
yes. I
great.
will be so skinny. I will be malnourished.
See those guns, everybody? They're going to be gone.
Exactly. Exactly.
Again,
So
I wouldn't bring up guns.
Okay.
that's
I
right.
don't know why.
Take notice while you can. I guess. No, it's so weird.
Please
Why do I
help
make it
us.
weird? Why do I do it every time?
I don't
We
know.
don't
You've made it weird
know.
twice
I know.
in
But-
one podcast. That's a record.
But
not
in
even
defense
that
to you, Matt, Deb
impressive.
opens the door. She
I-
does that just to see if you'll walk through
And I
that.
bite every time.
Every
Every
time.
friggin' time.
It's like a fish been
What's
caught
wrong
4
with me?
times.
Dang, man, yeah.
Oh
Anyways,
my goodness.
other than that, have a wonderful day. And
Yes.
thanks for listening to
Yeah.
this morning show podcast. the,
Yes,
After
we appreciate
Hours.
you being here after hours. Actually, for after hours, I feel like we should have mood lighting. It should be dark. Could you turn the lights
Oh,
off?
yeah.
What would it look like? Real fast.
Okay, he's gonna turn the lights off then.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm slightly scared.
Now I'm kind of
Okay.
creeped out, but I like
it
it at the same time.
What if I say talk about my
Matt-
biceps again?
Matt looks like a
Well,
ghost.
we made it weird a third time.
3 times. Thrice weird.
We hope you all have a good weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we got to deal with Matt for a little bit longer.
I'm so sorry for putting you through this. All right. Bye, everybody. Bye. Oh, Dustin.
What do you say?
Dustin. See y'all tonight.
See
yes,
y'all
you
tonight.
will.
Matt, you might want to delete this.
I will. Bye. Yeah, give me a hard time about it. Like your biceps aren't that impressive. Dude. I know. Self-aware. Anyways, Dustin, we'll see you at Tyler Farr tonight, buddy. All right. See y'all. Bye.